A couple of months ago, I was able to get hands-on with a Messerschmitt Me262. Yes, a flying example. You may have seen the video right here. Now this happened at the Royal International Air Tattoo, and I was really lucky because I also ran into the pilot, Geri K12 Krähenbühl. And he's one of the few pilots nowadays that can actually tell us what it's like to fly a Messerschmitt Me262. So in this video, that's exactly what he's going to do. This is also a big thank you here to all the patrons and channel members who make Inside the Cockpit and this aircraft series possible. Without you, this series would not exist because it's 100% community funded. But now, without further ado, over to you, Geri.
My name is Geri K12 Krähenbühl. I'm original Swiss, now working for Airbus in Manching. Former chief test pilot of the Manching site. Now I'm corporate heritage. I'm country manager for Germany and also flying these nice airplanes. It's a privilege. I'm really honored and I'm humbled to fly this aircraft because it's really special. Starting on the ground, we have no nose wheel steering, so we have to do differential braking and we have to use asymmetrical thrust to turn around the corners. So this is quite different to other aircraft. During takeoff, I have a slow stall speed, but the high speed where I have to reach in case I lose an engine to keep the aircraft flying. So these are 30 knots in between, which is quite difficult. Up in the air, when we are flying, every throttle movement, it's pitching up or pitching down, and through to the small tail we see there, there's a lot of not a lot of damping, and it starts to do Dutch roll. So really a nice, funny flying up in the air. Whenever it's flying, it's really great. However, you have to be present, you have to be concentrated on all the flight maneuvers because it behaves completely different than other newer aircraft. It's a jet aircraft which is much easier to fly actually because you have a nose wheel and not a tail wheel, and you have the thrust in one line. You don't have any momentum that keeps you out of the runway like a piston engine. So for me, I prefer jet engines. It's better to fly for me. As I told you, was this pitching moments and also the Dutch roll. And also the difference in speeds where they are safe flying and where I have to be to really perform with this aircraft. It's not a turning aircraft. It was built for hit and run. And nowadays I have to show it on displays. So this is a little, I have to take some tricks to get it tightly turned to be close to the public and show the public the nice view and the nice silhouette of the aircraft. Nothing because it's an original, it behaves as the original. The engines are already good, there are really no problems with those. What I would introduce would be a nose wheel steering, that's the only thing. It's a 610, the civil version of the J85, which is introduced in the F5 or T38 or in the Saab 105. The civil version, it's very robust engine, and so we are really happy to have this engine on board. It has more thrust than the older Jumas. However, we have them in the casings, and we are not allowed to use more thrust because of the aerodynamics. If you have more thrust, then the aerodynamics are completely different, and we run out with numbers to fly that are insane. So what did we do? We found a flight test report from Fritz Wedel, the guy from Messerschmitt, the chief test pilot, and he claimed at 2,000 meter, one Jumo engine full thrust, the other one in cutoff, he reached 500 kilometers an hour. So what did we do? We went up there, we cut one engine, modulated the other engine, and now we're at 93% of the thrust possibilities of this engine. The problem with this aircraft is also navigation means and also the fuel bag. I don't have a lot of fuel, so we had to do 3 stops in between. First stop was in Zweibrücken. There we got new fuel. Then we flew straight to Ostende. There we had to wait for the weather in UK. This was then the next day, luckily. We took off from Ostende, met Battle of Britain Memorial Flight with a camera team. So we did the Beachy Head Cliffs, went to Boscombe Down, got there a fuel bag, met the Rolls-Royce guy in a Mustang and in a Spitfire, and then we finally came up here to Fairford. This was on Wednesday. Thursday, I had my display rehearsal. So the weather was fine, no wind, not like today, so I could perform. Now we are here, so we delivered. This was really fun. It reminded me of former times when I was in the Swiss Air Force, finding two guys and then joining them. So they were orbiting over Dover. I saw them at about 5 miles, and then I tweaked my flight pass just to meet them. So then we were a 3-ship. Was like in former times in the Air Force, and then we were flying down direction Beachy Head.